Okay, hi. So in this video, we continue with chapter 7 and 7.1 acids and bases. Okay, in previous video, I already explained about the strength of weak acid and weak base and the relationship between weak acid, weak base to the dissociation constant K and Kb, and perform calculations involve the pH, dissociation constant, initial concentrations, equilibrium concentrations, and degree of dissociations. Okay, so for today, I will explain about the salt hydrolysis, and you should be able to explain the salt hydrolysis and write the hydrolysis equations for the salt from the reactions between strong acid and strong base, strong acid and weak base, weak acid and strong base, and you should be able to classify the salt as neutral, acidic, or basic. Okay, so first we go to the salt hydrolysis. So what is salt hydrolysis? Nah, kita tengok hydrolysis itself. Okay, apa maksud hydrolysis? So hydrolysis, lysis. Okay, lysis that comes from the Greek word to unbind. Okay, lysis maksudnya pemutusan. Hydro maksudnya using H2O reactions to unbind ataupun untuk putuskan the ikatan. Okay, so salt hydrolysis maksudnya reactions of salt with water, okay, to form whether hydroxide ion ataupun hydronium ion. So basically salt hydrolysis adalah reactions or tindak balas an ion or cation of a salt with water. So first, to explain the salt hydrolysis ataupun to classify salt into neutral salt, acidic salt, or basic salt, first you need to explain the how the salt is produced. Okay, untuk kamu dapat classify salt, garam sebagai neutral, acidic ataupun basic, langkah pertama adalah untuk explain how the salt is produced. Okay, so the general equations for the neutralization to produce salt: acid. Okay, acid dia. Okay, acid react with base to produce salt and H2O. So ini adalah one way arrow actually. So acid react with base to produce salt and water. So ini first step, first equations you must have to in order to classify the salt ataupun to explain the salt hydrolysis. Okay, next equations is the dissociations of salt. So the salt dissociate into cation and ion. So ini the second equations you must have. So ini adalah one way arrow juga. Dia completely dissociate into cation, positive ion, ataupun anion. Okay, so dihasilkan cation ataupun anion. So remember, this is the completely ionization. They are completely ionized or completely dissociate. So this one is the first equation. The second equation is the dissociations of salt into cation and anion. Now the third equation is the hydrolysis. So if the cation, okay, if the cation, kalau cation yang dipilih untuk undergo hydrolysis, the equation would be M positive react with H2O to form MOH and hydrogen ion. Okay, this one is liquid. Okay, and dia memang double headed arrow. Okay, so dia hasilkan hydrogen ion. If an ion is undergo hydrolysis, the equation is X ion react with H2O, HX and form hydroxide ion. Okay, for the hydrolysis for the third equations, you must choose lah whether the cation or an ion yang akan terpilih untuk undergo hydrolysis. Okay, now if the cation hydrolysis, sekejap ya, kita go to next slide. Okay, type of salt. They are neutral salt. Neutral salt are salt formed from the reactions of strong acid with strong base. Okay, neutral salt ini dia mesti dari strong acid tambah strong base and hasilkan neutral salt and H2O. Why strong acid and strong base hasilkan neutral salt? So kita tengok. For example, sini sodium chloride. So first you need to write the formations of sodium chloride. Okay, first equations, HCl, sodium chloride and NaCl form from reactions between HCl and NaOH. So masih ada if formations of NaCl dulu. Okay, HCl react with NaOH. So ini adalah strong acid. Ini adalah strong base. Alright. Next is the dissociations of the salt. Okay, dissociations of salt. Okay, so first equations kamu ada formations of the salt. Okay, formations of salt. Second equations is the dissociations of the salt. Okay, ionizations, pemutusan itu NaCl kepada ion-ion dia. So NaCl dissociate completely to form cation and anion. NaCl and Cl. Yang ketiga, you choose which ion will be hydrolyzed by water. So untuk pemilihan which ion, kamu tengok ion itu berasal dari mana. Okay, dia punya, if the ion is berasal dari strong acid, okay, in previous video you have learned that strong acid will form weak conjugate base, and strong base dihasilkan weak conjugate acid. Okay, Na ini berasal dari NaOH, and NaOH is strong base. So strong base dia akan hasilkan weak conjugate acid. Okay, Cl ion berasal dari HCl, and HCl is strong acid. So strong acid dia akan hasilkan weak conjugate base. So that's why both Na ion and Cl ion are not hydrolyzed by water. So, kalau tiada ion yang terpilih untuk hydrolyze by water, so there is no production of extra hydrogen ion or hydroxide ion, so the solution is neutral. Okay, ingat yang pertama kamu kena tunjukkan formations of the salt. Yang kedua, kamu kena tunjukkan dissociations of the salt into cation and anion. Yang ketiga, kamu pilih mana satu ion yang terpilih untuk hydrolyze by water. Okay, untuk pilih, kamu tengok itu ion dia weak ataupun strong. Macam mana mau tentukan ion weak or strong? Tengok dari mana asal itu ion. If the ion asal dia dari strong base, then the ion is weak. If the ion asal dia dari strong acid, then the ion is weak. So, if ion is weak, there will be no hydrolyzation. Okay, tiada yang terpilih untuk hydrolyze by water. So, no extra hydrogen ion or hydroxide ion. Hence, the solution is neutral. Okay. So, neutral salt sudah, kita pergi acidic salt pula. Acidic salt form from strong acid and weak base. So, from example is ammonium chloride. So, ammonium chloride form from the reactions between HCl and ammonia. HCl is strong acid. Ammonia is weak base. So, reactions between HCl and NH3 form ammonium chloride. Okay, next. First, you explain the formations of the salt. The second step is the dissociations of the salt to form cation and anion. Okay. So, ini dissociations of the salt. So, now kita determine which ion yang akan go to step 3. Which ion will be hydrolyzed by water. So, kita tengok the ion berasal dari mana. So, NH4 ion, there comes from NH3. Okay, there comes from NH3, which is weak base. So, weak base will form strong conjugate acid. So, this ion is strong. Okay, Cl negative, okay, chloride ion comes from HCl, which is strong acid. So, strong acid always form weak conjugate base. Dia sentiasa bertentangan. Kalau dia datang dari weak base, the ion is strong ion. Is the ion comes from the strong acid, then dia adalah weak. So now kita sudah determine which one is the strong ion and which one is the weak ion. So, strong ion will be hydrolyzed by water. Okay, itu tadi. NH4 is the strong ion here. So, dia akan hydrolyzed by water. They react with water to produce ammonia and H3O plus. Okay, so kita balik tadi. Okay, yang ini kamu kena, ini adalah one way arrow, ini pun one way arrow. Okay, bila masuk dalam third equations, the hydrolysis barulah dia double headed arrow, baru dia reversible. Okay, ini reversible. So, ini the third step, the hydrolysis of water. Cl ion does not react with water. So the productions of hydronium ion from hydrolysis of NH4 positive ammonium ion causes the solutions to be acidic. Okay, the third equations yang determine dia acidic or basic. Kalau dia hasilkan H3O+, so dia adalah acidic salt. Okay. Kita pergi. Okay, the reactions is cationic hydrolysis. So basic salt. Salt from the strong base with weak acid. Contoh dia sodium carbonate. Okay, weak acid react with strong base. Okay, dihasilkan salt dia. Okay, so ingat itu first equations kamu. First equations dia mesti formations of the salt. Yang kedua, dissociations of the salt into cation and anion. Okay, now kita tentukan mana ion yang strong supaya dia dipilih untuk react with water. Na. Na berasal dari NaOH which is strong. So, ion ini adalah weak. Okay, the anion berasal dari weak acid. So, ion ini adalah strong. Okay, ini first step formations, second step kamu dissociations, and then you determine which ion is strong. Tapi dalam exam janganlah tulis weak and strong. Tidak perlu kamu tulislah di atas dia. Okay, so the strong ion will be. Okay, so ini tadi. Anion is the strong ion here, so it will react with water. Okay, dia akan react dengan water. So reversible reactions and form OH minus. So kalau dia form OH minus, dia adalah base. So the productions of hydroxide ion from hydrolysis of carbonate ion causes the solutions to be basic. So ini adalah anionic hydrolysis. So kesimpulan dia, for neutral salt, dia adalah reactions between strong acid, strong base. So ion form is cation of a strong base and ion from strong acid. For acidic salt, dia adalah dari strong acid and weak base. So, cation dia hydrolyze. Okay, acidic salt dia cation hydrolyzes an acid. Okay, anion for basic salt, anion hydrolyzes a base. So, contoh neutral salt NaCl, ammonium chloride, dan basic salt contoh dia sodium ethanoate. So conclusions, strong acid and strong base will form neutral salt. So pH is 7. Okay. Ini dissociations dia. So for neutral salt, there will be no productions of hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. So dia neutral, pH equals to 7. Okay, for acidic salt, strong acid react with weak base to form acidic salt. So pH is below 7. For example, is ammonium chloride. So if the salt dissociate, dia akan hasilkan ammonium ion dengan chloride ion. So the cation Okay, so ini dia punya equations. The ammonium ion. Okay, so the ammonium ion react with water to form NH3 and H3O+. So the H3O+ ion yang akan determine dia adalah acidic salt. For hydrolysis of basic salt form from strong base and weak acid. So pH dia more than 7, larger than 7. Contoh sodium ethanoate. So sodium ethanoate dia dissociate jadi ion, ethanoate ion and sodium ion. So the anion, the CH3COO negative undergo hydrolysis. So bila dia undergo hydrolysis, bila dia react with water, dia akan hasilkan OH minus. So the OH minus, okay, so the OH minus here, the productions of OH minus, sini menentukan dia adalah basic salt. Okay, so itu sahaja untuk topik salt hydrolysis. So ingat, untuk determine, first kamu kena write the productions of salt or formations of salt. Productions of salt. Yang kedua, dissociations of salt. Yang ketiga barulah dia punya salt hydrolysis. So from the hydrolysis kita tengok dia hasilkan OH minus ataupun hydronium ion. Okay, so ini sahaja untuk hari ini. Thank you.